I would like to play that clip and then ask the question that I have in mind.
Yeah, sure.
Just one.
Those in pain, caring for them, listening to them, applying a cold cloth until a fever breaks. If this is practicing medicine, if this is treating a patient, then I am guilty as charged, sir.
Did you consider the ramifications of your actions? What if one of your patients had died?
What's wrong with death, sir? What are we so mortally afraid of? Why can't we treat death with a certain amount of humanity and dignity and decency and, God forbid, maybe even humor? Death is not the enemy, gentlemen. If we're going to fight a disease, let's fight one of the most terrible diseases of all, indifference. Now, I've sat in your schools and heard people lecture on transference and professional distance. Transference is inevitable, sir. Every human being has an impact on another. Why don't we want that in a patient-doctor relationship? That's why I've listened to your teachings, and I believe they're wrong. A doctor's mission should be not just to prevent death, but also to improve the quality of life. That's why you treat a disease, you win, you lose. You treat a person, I guarantee you'll win, no matter what the outcome. Now, here today, this room is full of medical students. Don't let them anesthetize you. Don't let them numb you out to the miracle of life. Always live in awe of the glorious mechanism of the human body. Let that be the focus of your studies and not a quest for grades, which will give you no idea what kind of doctor you will become.
Mr. Adams, please turn and
don't
address
wait
the
till
board.
you're on the ward to get your humanity back. Start your interviewing skills now. Start talking to strangers. Talk to your friends. Talk to wrong numbers. Talk to everyone.
Mr. Adams.
And cultivate friendships with those amazing people standing in the back of the room. Nurses, they can teach you. They've been with people every day. They wade through blood and shit. They have a wealth of knowledge to share with you. And so do the professors you respect, the ones who are not dead from the heart up. Share their compassion. Let that be contagious.
Mr. Adams, I demand that you turn and address the board.
Sir, I want to be a doctor with all my heart. I wanted to become a doctor so I could serve others. And because of that, I've lost everything. But I've also gained everything. I've shared the lives of patients and staff members at the hospital. I've laughed with them. I've cried with them. This is what I want to do with my life. And as God is my witness, no matter what your decision today, sir, I will still become the best damn doctor the world has ever seen. Now, you have the ability to prevent me from graduating. You can keep me from getting the title and the white coat. But you can't control my spirit, gentlemen. You can't keep me from learning. You can't keep me from studying. So you have a choice. You could have me as a professional colleague, passionate, or you can have me as an outspoken outsider, still adamant. Either way, I'll probably still be viewed as a thorn. But I promise you one thing. I am a thorn that will not go away.
Is that all?
I hope not, sir.
It actually displays a lot of qualities with respect to societal awareness, and the way he actually explains and briefs what he wants to be. I want to be a doctor, whether you graduate me, whether you accept me or not, but this is what I'm going to continue doing. But I remember in one of our conversations, you specifically mentioned we need to detach ourselves from the social status and the formal designations and move beyond the objective reality. Could I request you to elaborate on that point, keeping your previous answers on self-reflection?
In the first place, Venkat, I'm amazed that you brought this clipping for this session, for this. It melts the heart. It can actually make the eyes moist. It's that beautiful sequence that you brought in. And what I'm amazed is about its complete relevance to what we spoke just a few minutes back when Subhashini began with that question about assessment. So here is a panel of people who are sitting on the bench of assessment and are saying that do your qualifications and competencies fit into the normal formal assessment of being a doctor? Are you a doctor? Such a terrific thing. So they have clarity in their mind about something called a role, and doctor is a role. Hey, here you are seeming to be either doing or claiming to be providing the services provided by a role called doctor, but that seems to be a non-acceptable thing, because if it's a role and competencies, then there are institutions and authorities who are authorized to legitimize, certify that you have that. Do you have that? So the whole drama is this question of structures and systems of society which validate competency capabilities of roles. And from that, kind of a platform and premise, a set of people are asking someone who probably is a non-role, and he says beautifully, I'm human. It's humanity that I'm talking about. It is capability that you're talking about. I don't think you could have chosen a more beautiful, kind of clipping than this to just talk about the same thing that we kind of. So they're talking about an assessment process. Have you gone through that? Do you have that? And he's saying, what are you talking about? Where is the question of assessment? To me, it's about creating a quality of life. It's about treating someone. And the moment you're using the word treating someone, what he's talking about is treating someone as a human being to another human being. And you know what is treating a human being as another human being, all that it means? We use the word empathy or, whatever that. It is sheer engagement with the other human being, period. And the word engagement is beautiful by itself. Engagement is to create a connect. That's it. You engage a gear, you connect something so that it shifts into a particular kind of speed mode. The counterpoint, the opposite of that in roles is evaluation. Let's get this funda in place. It's engagement versus evaluation. What of engagement? So you take away all this, kind of norms and standards of a role. What you're left with is the beautiful thing that Robin Williams talks about. You strip, and then you're just a human, which is the other thing that you are talking about. What happens to us, and in our, kind of again the Eastern philosophy, in a manner of speaking, the word ego is addressed by a word called ahamkar. Again, that has got two parts. Aham is I or myself. Kar, sense of I. Okay. So that's such an interesting thing. Or the sense of I. So normally when you say I, what do you mean by I? About myself. So there is this self-identification. Okay. So the I stands for self-identification. Self-awareness is beyond any identification. Look at the interesting thing. The I stands for identification, and the identification is typically with roles. The first identification begins with the name. So who are you? I'm Raja Krishnamurthy. Okay. None of us say, my name is Raja Krishnamurthy. My name is Subhashini. My name is Venkat. Because that's what you are. Because sometimes you're saying I'm angry. Sometimes you're saying that I'm really upset. Sometimes you're saying I'm thrilled. And then you're also saying I'm Venkat. Which one are you really? Okay. Our language is so funny. All right. So are you Mr. Angry? Are you Mr. Happy? Are you Mr. Upset? Are you Mr. Thrill? Are you Mr. Venkat? Then you suddenly realize that, hey, you know what? There are things that are given to me. My parents gave me a name, which means name is something that I received, I got. I have, therefore, a name. Then you suddenly realize that, yeah, I'm an MBA. Are you an MBA? Or do you have an MBA degree? Oh, that's right. I have a degree called MBA. I'm Senior Vice President Operations. Is it? Are you Senior Vice President Operations or you have a position? Yeah, that's right. I have a position. Now, suddenly you start saying, you know what? For the so many things that I have, but I'm confused now. You are confused, or you are saying that I have now a lack of clarity? Oh my God, now I realize. That means in terms of language usage, many things which I have taken, which I have come to possess, I confuse, I completely mix it up with myself and make it so much an integral part of me that I start saying that I'm Venkat, I'm angry, I'm an MBA, I'm senior vice president, I'm a husband, but the truth is I'm a human being, but I have so many of these attachments to me. And in every one of those attachments, I've got a very clear possibility of being evaluated as to whether it is adequate or not adequate. Because did I pass my MBA exam? Then I'm an adequate MBA. Did I really cross my probation period and get confirmed in my job? Then I'm an adequate vice president. So you have a whole lot of world of criteria, other than probably your name. But there are, of course, people who say, I hate my name, but I can't do anything about it. You can't change yourself. All right.
Fantastic.
So it's such a simple thing. If I know that there's a difference between what I acquire in life as a result what I have, and that who am I, that core entity which receives all of this and loses many of this, adds on many of this, kind of discounts many of this, because this will keep changing. That is the truth. I'm Venkat is the truth all the time in terms of my name, all right? But no, Venkat the baby, Venkat the small boy, Venkat the kind of adolescent, Venkat the youth, Venkat the adult, Venkat the husband, Venkat the father. All those Venkats were different. Okay, in the passage of time. All right. But in terms of sheer identity as to who this creature is, we call you Venkat, or you call me Raja, or we call her Subhashini. So the difference between many things that we have, I have a name, I have a role, I have a relationship, I have a qualification, I have a position. This world of haves will keep happening all the time. And what I have, one day I will not have, for sure. It is possible. What I get, I can lose. But there's something which will never be lost, which is the recipient, me, the self. Self will have all these objective realities coming to me because these are all objective realities. Because roles are part of the structure, my education is part of a system, all this will keep coming and they will keep changing. And whatever reasons, right or wrong reasons. But today, well, it's different, which means all these things which can change, which can modify, that changing realities, therefore, those objective realities are bound to change. So interestingly, what we realize is there is a difference between who I am in terms of my core and all that I pick up in life. And we have been conditioned by and large to believe that what we have been given, gifted, and what we have is predominantly the most important part of what we are, who we are. And therefore, to the question of who you are, we land up answering with the question, what I have. That is the phenomena that you're talking about. So the ability to detach your ego and then make yourself that clearer one without the attachments of whatever that you have. That clearing part, which helps you therefore to see the clear reflection, that is the purifying the vision process. And that purified vision, by the way, is called awareness.